well with his Beatrix.
Hmm.
And it's gonna be a homework as well for Vietnam because we know Hehe with Cloud yesterday from the Vietnam looking very good as well. Not only Cloud, and of course a 1-1, but Malaysia still able to survive and even stay in the upper bracket. And now Cambodia is the next country they have to beat.
And now it's the same old game of drafting against the Malaysians, right? You have no idea
Yep.
what's going to go where, who's going to play what. And so it begins for Cambodia. The Phobias as a first ban is quite interesting. I don't think we've seen it being prioritized that much. But for Malaysia, that Kaja is just way too flexible, way too useful, and I don't think they want to allow Cambodia to get their hands on such a dynamic, a confusing pick. Along with that though, that's that Diggy being banned away
Yeah.
by Cambodia. And this is something that Malaysia usually does.
Yep.
Ban away or pick that Diggy, as we mentioned, and then stack up the crowd control. But already a different situation here. Angela has been banned from Malaysia.
And
Maybe
it's-
they have some information that we are not aware of.
It's interesting because Cambodia, they always ban out these Povies. The first day when they met Namibia, maybe Namibia not looking very strong in the first day, right? But Povies always be a prior ban from Cambodia. So there must be something that they don't actually make this their god laner being distracted. There's some guy who can, trying to
Dive in the back line.
dive going into the back line, especially if he has a big damage there. So no Povius, no Digi. Malaysia, they ban out that Angela and also Kaja. I really like how they prior this Kaja because we know how strong Kaja right now. Not only as a roamer, but also as a jungler here. But there's no 1-1 as well from Cambodia.
Ooh, a 1-1 ban to ensure that Malaysia, whoever is in the gold lane, because we never really know with Malaysia, will not be able to outplay with that 1-1. And for Cambodia though, it really seems like they want to punish a lack of, well, almost a lack of counter for mobility because they've banned away the Phobias that can punish dashes, ban away the Diggy as well that can lock people down. So I think they just want to go with something very mobile, something that can go in and out again and confuse Malaysia that way. But of course, that is a playstyle that the Malaysians are not foreign to. They like doing that themselves, so we'll have to see. As Momo-chan mentioned, it's a very interesting banting phase, but the Fanny actually will be the final choice for Malaysia.
So they will try to contest that Leo Mort and also Wait Joy already can be played because the information that I've got that actually they cannot play this Joy. They cannot play this Joy, right?
Yes.
So
Interesting. I think we saw.
I think it's gonna remake since there's a I don't know. Texana and also, oh no, actually it's not a remake. I think because if
we'll see.
yeah, we'll see.
All
Because
right.
if is the next pick for Malaysia with Benedetta.
Benedetta and the Yeve. A lot of mobility, but also a lot of mobility denial. And for Cambodia, what will be their situation here? Now the Phobius ban makes sense because if they want to play that Joy, that is a lot of dashes that can be absolutely punished. So for the side of Malaysia, are they going to go for heroes that can stop that kind of mobility? We'll just have to see. For Cambodia, pairing up this Joy with a lot more crowd control with heroes that can dash alongside that Joy will be very beneficial for those big dives.
Yeah, I agree with that. But with the shadow pick towards Bruno, I'm not really agree with that because Malaysia, they have this Benedetta to dive into the back line, but Cambodia need a good lane that can try to maybe at least have enough damage, have an A damage that can hold up the presence of Benedetta here because we know how aggressive Benedetta with the Phantom Slash and also the Alexic Final Blow, right? So I think with Beatrix in the hand of Cambodia for OP, as long as this Beatrix has a good positioning, I think she's fine without have to worry that Benedetta will try to dive and take her down. But yeah, Leo Mort pick from Cambodia, so it's gonna be Joy for mid lane, I think.
We'll see. Whenever a new hero pops up, we never really know where they usually go, right? Depending on the kit, there could be several options available.
But if you talk about Cambodia banned out this Pelvius just because they want to take this Joy. Actually, there's one more counter for Joy.
Oh, tell us, Momo-chan.
It's Minsitter.
Oh, you're
Right.
right. It's also a very solid engage tool if the Cambodians or the Malaysians want to opt for that. We'll have to see though. We haven't seen it that much recently. But for the Malaysians, having that Leslie though, that's a lot of burst damage. And that means that they are banking quite a bit in the late game,
Yeah.
which is a bit uncharacteristic. They have long range from their mage and from their gold laner, and they usually scale well with items.
Or
So
maybe they
now-
want to pick something else that can have an early damage, such as, maybe Ling from Chiku.
Ooh.
Ooh. Or maybe they can play another two marksmen like Philippines yesterday.
Now we're talking. The possibilities for the current meta is
Yeah.
very, very confusing.
But you really have to comfort to do that meta.
Yeah, you
If
need
you're
to
not
actually have practice,
Yeah, if
for
you-
sure.
you're not comfortable enough with that two marksman meta, I think it won't work.
But on that note though, Mathilda and Atlas banned it from Malaysia, so they understand that their backline is a lot more vulnerable compared to Cambodia's. And for Cambodia, banning away the Grok for the CC immunity and also banning away the Akai for the disengage. So Cambodia wants blood for sure. Will Malaysia contend, or are they gonna get that Minzatar? Momo-chan,
Look
what
what I
a prediction!
say.
On point.
It reminds me on Harrod actually.
Harith.
Harrod, right? For Harrod, we never seen him again in the Land of Dawn. But seem every hero that has a dash power here, Minsitar always be the counter. Especially Joy is very very strong right now because he's quite new, right? Joy, she's very new. So if Malaysia they don't counter this Joy, it's gonna be a disaster. It's gonna be very very dangerous for Malaysia. So I really like this Minsitar pick. But the thing is, Minsitar,
Yes.
it's in my humble opinion, I just feel that he doesn't have enough movement speed. Right? He's very very slow and he really needs to be very tanky.
Of course.
Yeah.
Right now he is the only main hero, but hang on a minute. Malaysia might be going for 2 tanks, 2 hooks as well. Interesting, considering the fact that they, at a glance, want to kite back. And Momo-chan was talking about the speed. Cambodia with the Rafaela as well. That's movement speed and slow for
Wait.
Malaysia.
Is he gonna beat Minsitar jungler? Or
No
is it gonna
way.
be Benedetta jungler?
I think Benedetta makes more sense,
Makes
but
more sense?
this is Malaysia.
Yeah, yeah.
This is Malaysia.
We talk about Malaysia, right? They always comes out for us with a new story or maybe a different things here. But Franco, like what Arashi mentioned it earlier, it's very interesting. And there you go, they lock it already, Arashi. It's
Wow.
gonna be Franco.
It's gonna be a Franco and a Minsitar, and it seems like
Leslie Benedetta. Oh, wait, what? Chiku?
What?
Franco jungler?
Hold up, wait, hold on. This is not okay. What is going
Wait,
on
I
here?
really like the playstyle from Formace, right? You know how I idol Formace. It's been
Right.
like a long time already.
You're a big Formace
if
fan,
you
yes?
talk about Philippines, I really love Oh My Venus, right? But for Malaysia, I will go for Formace because I know how strong he is, how the capability of him to trying to manipulate the game.
I mean, we saw it
We saw it
He was
yesterday,
going
the first
1v2,
day.
1v3, you
And-
name it. He does it all, man.
I know, right? And he's very, very, I can say maybe amazing player here. But if you talk about Benedetta, yes, I'm agree with you. Maybe it's good for the jungler position, but in the hand of Formace, I have no doubt.
We'll
about
have to
it.
see. I mean, it's a very strong laner with great wave clear
Yeah.
as well. But ladies and gentlemen, let's get straight to it. Game number 1 between
Oh my
Cambodia
God.
and Malaysia. And as we suspected,
Franco.
it's a Franco in the jungle from Chiku. What in the world is going on?
Wow.
Wow, okay. I guess with Malaysia, it is what it is.
It is what it is.
There's no point being surprised anymore. But now,
But
look at
I'm
that
quite
already.
surprised, yeah.
Ty actually trying to make a bit of a distraction, but he might just get punished. Chiku and Yums going in aggressively, and Ty will be able to dash away on that Rafaela. But unfortunately, it does seem like Yums is going to be attacked by Deja. But everyone backs away. It's just all good. But Ty will be recalling, and that will be Malaysia just having a lot of pressure in the early game. But I think the concern here for Chiku on that Franco is the farming. because with that bounty hunter emblem, he's gambling on actually getting very fewer camps and actually ganking a lot more. It fits the Malaysian playstyle, but we'll have to see if Cambodia has an answer.
Yeah, let's see. It's quite, maybe a little bit tricky here because they will bring that Franco jungler. It's new for me, to be honest, but I really like that min shooter pick here. So we will see what will Malaysia do with this Franco jungler. But Dija will comes and try to clear the minion as soon as possible. And Formis, I think he can still trying to clear the top lane without any concern that coming from the Cambodia team here, and Boom still able to let the passive playstyle coming from Formis here, because Formis seems need to get the level 4 first.
Right, with level 4, Formis becomes a completely different hero. He does have the combo with the Petrify and the Electro Final Blow, but for now, it just seems like it's a very wave-heavy situation. But look at that fight, Chico guys getting bursted down. First blood picked up by Deja on that new hero, on the Joy, but that will be Moon trading back a kill. The turtle though gets stolen in the middle of everything by Lutu, and the Malaysians, they want vengeance. They keep going in, and Yums is chasing down Boom. Boom gets taken down, and then everyone else follows suit. That's a double kill for Yums, and the Malaysians assert their dominance.
Wow, and let's see. Malaysia, they still able to get the third kill here, especially for Yums, right? With that 2 kills. This is what I see from Deja. Now, is he still level 1?
No, I think he has.
Oh, it's level 4. Okay, so it's
Exactly. This hero is just so mobile, and there's so much burst potential. You don't really notice it, but the small amounts of crowd control combined with the dashes, it's just completely annoying to deal with. And in that mid lane, look at that wave clear. It just gives the Cambodians a lot more wave clear to play around with. But of course, against 2 hooks from the Malaysians, it might be a bit too dangerous for them to not watch where they are gonna move.
And Yums, I think it's kind of important for
Ooh.
his presence, and Momo needs to flick out because he saw 3 members in the bottom lane trying to punish her and giving a pressure since the early game. We talk about this lately, right? So the Malaysian composition, actually they are trying to play into the mid until the late game composition because they need sometimes.
Ooh.
But meanwhile, we talk about that OP has been, doing his homework.
Doing his homework and getting that kill. Momo gets taken out, and the Malaysians are on that back foot. Deja on this Joy. That pressure allows them to actually play so aggressively and secure a turret at the bottom side. Formis has rotated to try and alleviate some of this pressure, but it's clear that the Malaysians are struggling to keep up. It's a tough situation for them for sure, especially because all these very aggressive early game heroes with a lot of wave clear. The Beatrix, the Joy, the Lapu Lapu even. There's just a lot of tools in the hands of the Cambodians to manipulate these waves.
They only have this Benedetta if they want to play the rhythm in the early game actually. And for me, it's not enough because we know Benedetta still needs some item, maybe on War Axe or maybe some the Bloodlust Axe for the lifesteal here. So need some time as well for Formis. So I think Malaysia, they will try to play a little bit passive here until the minute number 6 or 7, until at least Momo got his Berserker Fury. Or maybe Blade of Despair.
Well, we say that they will play passive, but they were the ones who initially got the abundance in kills. So we'll have to see. I think these turtle situations are where things get a bit confusing because sometimes which team prioritizes the turtle might just get caught off guard, and that seems to be the approach that a lot of these aggressive teams have been taking. You can take the early turtle, but then we'll take 2 or 3 members, and it will still be worth it that way, especially if they can translate that man advantage into a turret objective. But for now, both teams are just waiting around, but Cambodia are the ones that seem to be wanting to orchestrate dives.
Okay, and now 2 members in the top lane here. Yum still able to survive. The King's calling up, but OP got a lot of time and space as well. Look at that, the electrifying bits open up from Dija, but the cover up coming from Malaysia. Look at 3 member Chico guys trying to hold up a little bit, and look at the manipulation really on time. In the perfect timing, they got Lutu, but not really maybe a lot of advantage for Malaysia.
They get Lutu, but they lose their top lane turret in the process. Definitely not the result that they would ideally want. They have 2 hooks, but for the most part, Cambodia have no issue at all bringing the fight to them. And now, boom, with the Bloodlust Axe, will be able to sustain even more in the early game fights. And we see that the Malaysians, they are struggling to secure those kills after getting the members of Cambodia low enough in those big fights.
Yeah, and now Cambodia, I just feel that they know what they have to do in the early game. They know Malaysia is looking very, very, maybe I can say not strong enough to counter all of the damage that Cambodia have. So they have to play a little bit patient here from Malaysia. They try to make some space for Momo, especially Momo has been taken down once, right? So they need some space for Momo to at least get his item until he's ready for the team fight.
Lutu getting poked down by the snipes from Leslie, but Iron Hook lands, and right now the Malaysian trying to strike back with the real manipulation. Chiku picks up 1 kill, but the turtle will be taken by the Cambodians. Is that enough to make it worth it? We'll have to see, because Tai is also being chased down, and Chiku has some plans here. The Iron Hook does not land, but I think the Malaysians might make a play for the purple buff. Aggression all across the board right here.
Yeah, and if I'm not mistaken, I think Chiku used his retribution just now.
He did.
Oh, okay. And yes, there's no retribution for both of the jungler because Cambodia, they secure their turtle objective, and now Momo, he needs to focus. He needs to, buying a lot of time to get his item.
Deja,
and
goes
maybe
in with the electronic beats, but he gets taken now. Too aggressive, and Yums is still left for now as Deja goes in, ignoring everyone else. Moon is running for his life, but he will be able to get out of that situation. Chiku just hovering around, threatening to engage with the Iron Hook, and Cambodia will be staved off, but only for now.
Yeah, only for now. Now for me, it's 1 versus 4. Petrify for 2 members here, Nan. And electric fire blow pops up, but the damage from OP is just way too strong. And now, boom, dive too much, going into the turret in the mid lane. Oh, but look at that. That was a good point coming from Cambodia here. Yums down, and Chiku, I think he cannot do that much because Momo, finally with the backups coming from Momo, at least it makes Moon can try to survive a little bit here.
What an engage coming in from Boom on the Lapu Lapu, just going in very aggressively and even juking out, surprising the Malaysians with that flicker. That is insane.
Also the combo with the braver fighter, right?
To think that in the beginning, Formace was able to get a huge electro final blow with that Petrify. That really started off the fight in favor of the Malaysians, but the Cambodians, they just counter straight back.
I agree with that, and it looks very strong for Cambodia, especially in the first maybe 10 minutes. And OP, he got really a good KDA 500 with a level 12 right now. If you compare to Momo, there's a 3 level different gap.
3 level difference. It's definitely significant. But of course, OP is expected to be winning in this early game. The late game is where Momo is going to take over with that true damage. Up to 2k. And against the team of Cambodia, there are 2 fighters. So the true damage will be so useful if they can actually stall the game long enough. Because Cambodia is going for the Lord. They'll be free, uncontested. And Malaysia, it seems like they are just trying their best to damage control. They finally secure a turret as well.
Yeah, they maybe can try to, do a split push strategy here for Momo. Especially, they cannot contest the first Lord, but it's only the first Lord. So Malaysia, they should able to just knock it off very fast. But the thing is, I think Cambodia, they don't want to let this Lord become a giveaway Lord.
Well, on that note though, Formace very aggressively is here, still trying to make sure that he asserts the dominance. He threads the back line and Yums lands a hook. It's a stun on the tie, but it won't amount to much. Malaysians are a bit gun-shy right now due to that goal difference. And Deja, as you can see, not a lot of counters available, is moving in and out, and the Iron Hook does not land as the Cambodians will be able to take away 1 more turret from the Malaysians, moving over to the mid side where Formace will be forced to retreat.
Oh, okay, it's interesting because 2 turrets down in the top lane and also the mid lane, and now Lord is still going into the bottom lane. It's gonna be a disaster for Malaysia. 6 turrets for Cambodia. Meanwhile, Malaysia, they're still having this high ground defense that they're coming from Eve, but I think Cambodia want to force a team fight here.
Midway's Passion will do so much damage, but the real manipulation actually takes out an OP in the situation. Boom gets taken out. That's a shutdown for Moon. 3-0 and 4. That is the Malaysian striking back with the high ground advantage. Cambodia a bit too overzealous to end the game, losing two very important members in the process. And now this is the momentum shift that the Malaysians have been waiting for. Goal difference reduced to only 2K.
Oh, wow. Now Malaysia, they are trying to catching up all of the, I can say maybe disadvantage they have right now, right? With the 2K goal difference in the hand of Cambodia, Malaysia, they refuse to give up. It's just the first game, yeah? And they still have a chance, right?
Oh,
a lot of
absolutely.
chance for this best of 3 series for Malaysia. And this is what they need. Momo need to be in the perfect position, right?
Yes.
Moon need to stay in the safe position as well. So this two combo between Momo and Moon, it should be work for Malaysia. If they lose Momo or Moon, I think it's gonna be a disaster because they only have Yams and Chiku as a front laner.
Moon, though, is being targeted. Iron Hook does not land from Chiku. He is struggling to get the valuable pickups that he needs. The snipe, though, exposes the Cambodians, but the Malaysians will not be able to find a big fight. On that point, Momo, as you mentioned, when Deja can get into that back line, that is where they get so much
Agree.
more benefit because Moon as well as Momo just can't have the space to operate to deal out that damage.
Yeah, Malaysian really need to cover this Moon because we know how strong the real world manipulation. It's only a suppress ability that can shut the ultimate down, right? Other than that, Moon will be so free using his real world manipulation. So it's gonna be a homework as well for Cambodia. But I think the second Lord, Malaysia want to try to take a chance to just contest it.
Four has rotated, but look at that. That's an in-game for the Cambodians. But the look from the Lord actually benefits the Malaysians. Electric final blow in the back line from Formaze, and Moon does a lot of damage. But oh no, OP is still alive, doing a lot of damage, and that will be the Malaysians dropping one by one. Momo, the only one left as the Cambodians claim victory in that massive team fight.
Now Momo really needs to recall because look at that. The minion is going into the base of Malaysia. Momo needs to clear as soon as possible because the 3 member from Cambodia seems they want to focus on the base.
0 seconds jumps will spawn and the waves will not reach the base in time. Now the Malaysians have a chance, but look at that damage onto Momo. Bandit's Rage just does a lot of damage in the hands of OP that they cannot ignore. The Malaysians are able to survive, but that's for now. The Lord is marching down in the bottom lane as well. The Cambodians definitely want to make use of this huge momentum shift, and they might just be able to do it. But of course, the Malaysians are in their base. They have a chance here.
Yeah, especially you bring this joy into the late game composition. I think
conceal.
it's not good for Malaysia.
That's a concealed play from the Cambodians. They are trying to get a decisive fight, but they won't be able to find it as the Malaysians zone away. Ruined Manipulation is too far
Yums?
back in the back, and we can see that Yums gets taken out, and it's still a really back and forth situation, but the Cambodians are able to take out Yums, so there's no engage, no front line for the side of the Malaysians.
Yeah, the ultimate type pops up going into the hand of OP, and now Cambodia, they are trying to force themselves going into the top lane here, trying to take the best turret of Malaysia, and they succeed. And now it's gonna be the next mid turret here, and it's gonna be the left base turret for Malaysia. So I think it's gonna be a disaster. Look at that, the Phantom Saint pop up. Moon trying to survive here with a good positioning. The Rural Manipulation pop up. I think Cambodia, they will take the game number 1, RSG, without any doubt at all. I could say Joy is very, very strong in this game.
Insane amounts of damage coming out so fast from the side of Cambodians. And the Malaysians, they're usually at home in those fast-paced situations. Unfortunately, they are forced to accept defeat in game number 1.
Yeah.
And Cambodia, against all odds, against the Malaysians, they have prevailed.
Yeah, they try so hard actually because they have this high ground defensive that coming from Eve with the World Manipulation. But the thing is, it's not gonna stay that too long, right? After the remote manipulation being popped up, there must be like some suppress ability. Just need to knock up him and try to cancel the ultimate, right? But the problem is Cambodia, they already have a lot of damage here. They already have a massive damage coming from OP with this Beatrix. So they don't need the suppress ability. They just need to dive in and trying to make this Moon very, very low. And this is what makes Moon actually kind of maybe have a war really comfort for him.
I mean, the best crowd control is death, as a lot of people say.
Agree.
If you take a look in the early game, it does seem like the Malaysians have some momentum, but then the Cambodians, they just take over.
They got the first momentum actually with the 3-1 trade kill point here. But the problem is once Momo down, it's just like a snowballing moment for Cambodia. It's really a good petro fighter coming from Mace. But after that, Cambodia just answered it with the flicker and also the braver fighter that come from Boom, and it changed everything. Yam's down, but the problem is, look at that Moon. He's being punished. He got a lot of poke damage coming from OP. That's the problem. Malaysia, they don't have anyone can dive going into the backline comfortably because they only have 4 mates. It means 4 mates need to be very, very tanky and have a massive damage at the same time. And it's not easy for Benedetta when it comes to the hybrid
Priority.
build, right?
Hybrid build, yes.
Right? Yes, and hybrid priority as well. Because we know that 4 mates, he also realized these Yams and Chiku guys cannot be a true frontliner, cannot be really a proper tank, in my humble opinion, because we know that Chiku, once the Iron Hook miss, he cannot do anything. He needs to reset it again. He needs to wait until the cooldown for the Iron Hook comes back. And Yams, with the King's Calling, that's the only way how they stop Joy with the Rhythm of Joy. So I think once Yams done, it means nothing for Malaysia.
Deja is definitely one of the main issues here, but the match MVP will be OP. 0, 1, and 2. Oh, sorry, 8, 1, and 2. With a 900 GPM, he was doing a lot of damage from relative safety. We can see that there's only one fight where Moon was able to actually target him using the real world manipulation. Other times, not even close. Deja here, the mid laner with a 2, 0, and 5 score, he was doing a lot of damage, and that is just crazy. The mobility. It's like it's Harith on steroids, man. He can just go in all the way in the back. And you can see that despite having the King's Calling, despite having a Franco that can suppress these mobile heroes, he is able to just go in, and there's no solution at all from the Malaysians.
Actually, the Min Sitar pick is very, very a smart move from Malaysia, because it's only here that maybe effectively counter this Joy, right? But the problem is they bring Leslie. That's the only problem. Leslie need really some time to farm and at least get his 2 items here for Momo, right?
Yep.
Meanwhile, Cambodia, they have a lot of composition in the early game. They have a Batrick, they have Ravella especially, right, with the Holy Healing. They need some Dominance Eyes, or maybe a lot of items that can try to stop or maybe lower the lifesteal coming from this Ravella. Deja, our second game.
And I think a big thing to be talking about is Chiku on this Franco with the Bounty Hunter. Interesting, but did it work? I don't think so. I mean, at least in that game, it didn't seem that he had the impact he desired, or the team as a whole didn't really benefit a lot from that Franco pick. And of course, being a team that wants to go early in the early game, it's going to be very tough for them to try and use a hero that's not really meant for the jungle position. Maybe they'll double down and will be proven wrong, because the casters are always wrong, right? The caster curse, curse is very much real. But the first ban from Malaysia will be that Angela yet again. Now I'm really wondering if during scrims or something like that, they have some insider info, because the Angela, we haven't really seen being that prioritized, but maybe either Malaysia have a certain priority, or if Cambodia actually has a secret strat we have not seen just yet.
Maybe they don't want to make a Ling and also Angela combo, or whoever that can be combo by Angela as well, right? So they don't want to take a risk. They just ban it out. Or maybe this is what you thought, RC. Malaysia, they have a chance to take that the Joy out, right? So
Yes.
I think it's an advantage for Malaysia, especially they became the first pick here. And I think it will be Cambodia. Maybe can ban out that Joy in the third ban.
The Joy. Will Cambodia have a solution
The
ready?
Joy.
Will they, I don't know, will they think it's that dangerous, or will they, having used it already, have a counter prepared in mind? Right now, it's going to be the 1-1 again to ensure that the Malaysians will not be able to kite back efficiently. Of course, in game number 1, it's due to the Joy diving in the back line. Without that Joy in the picture, will they still require to ban the 1-1? But I guess in the hands of the Malaysians, 1-1 could be a bit too dangerous to let open.
Agree. No 1-1, no Kaja as well, because how we know how strong Kaja is with the divine judgment here. It cannot be cancelled, and there's no Digi as well. Maybe Malaysia they want to take this Atlas. No
Oof.
Digi. Maybe there's a lot of crowd control that can be picked by Malaysia for our second game. At least trying to force this game going into the third game.
That certainly is the usual idea, especially for the Malaysians. This crowd control, like Atlas and Digi dynamic, definitely is something to think about. For Cambodia, though, they have this Kaja banned out. So will they go for yet another dynamic, high mobility team composition? Because the Phobias will be banned away from Malaysia as well.
Oh, it's interesting.
Like you said, Momo-chan, it's
So
pretty prio.
yeah, so the counter for your Joy is Povis and also Minsitar. They don't have to worry about the Minsitar. We saw it in the first game. They only need a burst and also maybe a huge damage to take that Minsitar down. So they can try just secure it. Oh, but this, there you go, Joy ban out
Joy
in
banned
the
out
third ban.
in the third place by Cambodia.
Like I
Now
said
for
it earlier.
Malaysia, what will they opt for? Because the Joy is no longer in the picture. What else is that priority, that flexible and that dangerous? We'll have to see. A lot of options are available. Martis can be something that Malaysia will be able to use, but it will be that Beatrix actually taking it away from the hands of OP, who was able to use it or even abuse it in game number 1. Right now for Malaysia, if they can get that wave clear game down on point,
Yep.
that might be the edge they need to take over that early game.
But Beatrix, no Leomord? Beatrix, I think it's more respect pick as well from Malaysia because they know how strong Beatrix in the hand of OP from Cambodia. And they don't want to let it happen again. Same as like game number 1. And there's a Valentina. Wow, it's even scarier, I could say.
It is.
Right? Because if Malaysia they took this Atlas, means Cambodia they has a chance as well to do the same thing with the Footling.
Well, it will be a Brody though, so
See? This is what I said.
a lot of priority to burst damage to pick off for Cambodia. And with that Valentina, the wave clear game is going to be very good in the mid lane. And of course, the flexibility to use the ultimates from the Malaysian side will be quite important. The Brody, though, I think is also very interesting. I don't
Yeah.
think we've seen it so far in IESF.
Yeah, this is the first pick in ISF zone and Malaysia. They can take this Benedetta for 4 mace. The guy who can go dive into the backline with the Petrify as well, right? Petrify this Brody. At least make him to stay for 2 seconds. Then after that, use the active funnel blow. He also have the eye for an eye to make sure that the course of strike from Brody is not connect to him. Or but it's gonna be Lapu Lapu.
Oof, that is going to be Lapu Lapu in the hands of Formes, though. We've seen the impact that they can have in the early game, and even from Cambodia in game number 1, that Lapu Lapu is so dangerous, especially with the right composition, with the right backup, because you can see that in one fell swoop with the use of one ultimate, he can zone away the rest of your back lines. For Cambodia, they will go for, well, they're hovering over this Lolita. It makes sense though. Charging up that Numeron Blast will deter the rest of Malaysia to follow up on a big engage if Formes or even Yums goes for that big dive.
Okay, and now there's gonna be Lolita as a counter for Beatrix and Matilda here. So there will be a Guardian Bulwark to handle all of the damage that Malaysia has. Especially we know how painful the Soul Bloom in the early for Matilda, right?
Yes.
So Lolita, this Lolita could be the counter, could be the answer for Cambodia. But going into the second banning phase, it's gonna be Eve.
Eve and Gushen.
Okay.
Huh. Malaysia, I mean, I didn't think that there's a lot of setup per se for a Gushen or for a Eve to be that devastating. But of course, Cambodia probably have other things in mind as well. So now, final ban for Malaysia after banning away that Fanny. I think the Assassins in the jungle is definitely what is concerning for both these teams. Leomord, though, will finally be banned out as well. On paper right now, the front to back really favors Malaysia. The team fight favors Malaysia, so I think Cambodia will go for an Assassin to maximize especially the early game situation where they can go and gank the side lanes on the back of the stun from the roamer or the gold laner himself. And Carmilla actually will be the one in the jungle, so I'm completely wrong.
Okay, but it's okay because we've seen Carmilla in the first day, right? Because
Yes.
this Cambodia team, they always like to use this Carmilla as well. So Cambodia, they know with this Carmilla, with the Curse of Blood, they know how to make the combo between the Curse of Blood and also the Numian Blast. So the crowd control for Cambodia is enough, and the Valentina, it depends on who will he copy right now, because he has Matilda with the Circling Eagle as the frontliner of Malaysia. He can copy that, but now Shadow pick to Akai with the heavy spin. It's gonna be another option as well for Valentina in the hand of Cambodia.
Right, so a lot of crowd control already, but the damage
Kagura.
is going to be what is concerning
Oh
here.
my god.
Valentina can provide enough with the Shadow Strike and the King Shift, but for Malaysia, having a Kagura right now, a bit of security, outplay potential, and of course a huge burst follow-up depending on who engages that fight. But for Cambodia, are they going to go and select that Cho?
I think-
It will not be for now. They keep us guessing way too much, man.
I was gonna say maybe they can try to pick this Yuzong, right, for
Ooh.
going into the backline. But I think they don't have to worry about the backline from Malaysia because they are going into the dive, trying to break the frontliner of Malaysia here with the direct Shadow pick, but it changed again into Paquito.
The Paquito actually gets locked in by
Paquito.
Cambodia. All right, so a lot of burst damage, a lot of utility NCC in the hands of Cambodia. It will be on Malaysia to try and survive in the early game. Bring it to those big team fights where the AoE from the Lapu Lapu, from the Kagura and the Beatrix can be very important, and using that Akai to secure the neutral objectives in the meantime. Solid game plan for both these teams. It all comes down to execution.
Yep.
But I must say, Malaysia, usually being the aggressors, I think will have a bit of a read on how Cambodia wants to approach these situations.
Yeah, I thought that they will pick another else here, but seems Boom with the Paquito is enough for Cambodia at least, trying to steal someone from the backline here, from the composition from the Malaysia. Meanwhile, we know that Kagura has an escape capability and also the non-immune, right, with the umbrella here. So I think
Exactly.
if Kagura still able to survive from the Paquito, I think Malaysia is still able to get this game number 2.
Let's find out if will it be the final game here, or will it be an equalizer for Malaysia? Ladies and gentlemen, game number 2 between Malaysia and Cambodia. We'll have to see. Let's get straight into it, Momo-chan. As in the early game, the junglers, of course, are starting on their buffs. The rotations will be very important in this game.
Okay, we'll see. But the thing, there will be not an aggressive play coming from Cambodia, even though they have this Valentina, they have this Lolita, they even have this Luto with the Carmilla, right?
Yep.
They're still need to waiting until level 4, especially with the Carmilla with the Curse of Blood. It will be very, very flexible for the team fight here. Meanwhile, Momo got a lot of poke damage from OP with his Brody. This is what I said in the first game. If Malaysia, they bring at least Melissa or maybe Brody, it could be a different story though.
Ooh, Thai being very aggressive on the Lolita though. This is the power that Lolita has in the early game, being deceptively tanky and also doing a healthy amount of damage on top of a very reliable crowd control tool. But for now, both teams are still just farming around, but Lutu, as you can see, already trying to get a bit of an advantage. Yums gets taken very low, but as you mentioned, Momo-chan, it will be waiting for level 4 for both these teams because the ultimates are going to be so game-changing. And actually, that means that the teams who have a better wave clear can get the EXP advantage and get level 4 first and maybe force a fight when they have that level advantage.
It could be in the hand of Cambodia. They have this Paquito, they have this Valentina as well, right? So it's easy for them to clear the minion as soon as possible. But Chiku,
it goes with a heavy spin, but unfortunately Thai is able to get out. He is forced to burn that flicker though, but now here is the main objective and the heavy spin is no longer available. Malaysia looking for a chance to go in. Thai is getting bursted down without any flicker to escape, and the biggest fighter is being used. On the other side of the map, solo kill is done, but the Numian Blast is being charged up. Hits onto 2 people, and the stolen. The heavy spin actually is being used, and you can see that the turtle is taken by Chiku, and the Malaysians claim that victory, taking out Lutu. And in the bottom side, also getting one more kill. Everything going well for the Malaysians so far.
Yeah, it's a huge advantage. They got the turtle, they got 2-point kills here in the early game. But remember, Lutu still has that curse of blood. Maybe Cambodia, they are not too all in the turtle fight just now.
The Circling Eagle being used, and Opi right here tries to outplay it as much as possible. Tai comes in for the backup, and the Bulwark blocks off most of the damage, but that is going to be torn apart. Memory taking away the life of Yums, and that will be the Cambodians coming out on top off a great outplay, but already action starting again on the other side of the map. Formace trying to take out Boom under the turret. It might be too dangerous though. Paquito has a lot of outplay potential, and both these laners back away.
And now, I think Cambodia already got some pressure a little bit from Malaysia in the early here, but I really like the positioning from OP here. He knows that he's gonna be the prior target from Malaysia, you know, with this Brody, especially if you let him to snowballing since the early. I think it's gonna be a disaster.
Oh, heavy spin by Chiku though pushes Lutu away. Numinum Blast is casted out. It stuns him, but won't be enough. Nibiru's Passion takes out Lutu, and OP is very, very low. He will be able to escape with his life, but not for long. And right now, Tai is alone 1v3 as Deja comes in to try and make a difference, but the Yin Yang overturn will not be quite enough as Chiku gets taken quite low. Unfortunately for Cambodia though, Malaysia comes out on top yet again.
Again and again, but now Boom still seems to want to take the turret objective as soon as possible here. Meanwhile, we are going to see the replay where the Harvest been connected, but there's the Numian Blast and also the Guardian Bulwark. They tried so hard to defend and to cover the teammates from Cambodia in the bottom lane, but unfortunately, it's not working because Luto and also Opi got punished.
Oof. Tough situation for both these teams right here, but the next neutral objective is up, so it's back to the fighting situation as Chiku waits very strategically in a bush. Will he be able to go for the catch though?
Ooh.
Heavy spin is used as OP flickers out. That is very fortunate for him, but now with the Circling Eagle already used by Yums, it will be the Malaysians having tempo. They take the turtle, but now the Cambodians are striking back. They want compensation, and they will be able to take Chiku out, and everyone is backing away. It's a 1-for-1 trade, but wait a minute. Boom gets taken out by Moon on the other side of the map off camera as Formace once again does Formace things. 1v3, still trying to actually overpower the Cambodians. They won't be able to take him out though, and he will be able to back away.
Okay, level 7 for Formace, and look at that. 1 versus 2 in the mid lane, he's still able to hold the massive damage coming from Cambodia. It means it's gonna be another homework to be done from Cambodia. The Dominance Ice, maybe the Demon Hunter Sword as well for OP. It's gonna melt down all the defensive item that Formace have. But as we're taking the replay just now, the very good setup Numian Blessed coming from this Lolita T, and also again and again with the I'm on you from Deja. It makes that he can copy that heavy spin from Chiku, guys. So it's for the team fight actually. Cambodia, they are they're looking very, very solid. If I am you from Deja, that can try to take that heavy spin and lock another lock for Chiku, like I said, right? Because Chiku is gonna be an important key fight for Malaysia.
He is one of the main engagement tools. He is looking
Yeah,
for
that's
one more
right.
play in the top side, but it won't be enough. And he runs into
There you
Deja
go.
as well as Tai, and he's taking a lot of damage. But of course, he is a tank. He walks out, but on the other side, yet again a dive coming in from Momo as well as Yums. On the top side, Formace doing Formace things. It won't be enough though. Heavy spin pushes him against the wall, and the Cambodians will be able to take him and one more turret in one fell swoop. But the Malaysians very quickly trading out, getting more objectives, and actually they might just come out on top here.
Yeah, they can get to, you know, they can do the invasion if they want to right now. They can take this purple buff, they can take all the jungle from Cambodia, but Cambodia seems doesn't care at all. They also can do the same thing. They try to do the split push to in the top lane and even take the turtle objective, which is they know that there's gonna be an engagement coming from Malaysia anytime.
Chiku using that heavy spin there, a bit proactive, but unfortunately no follow-up just yet. Back to the default as Formace actually almost loses his turret. It's so low. Unfortunately for Cambodia though, it will still be standing as Chiku here gets jumped on. Unfortunately, not enough mobility in the hands of the Cambodians, and both teams seem to be looking for something but they don't really quite sure. No, they don't really know what. Numen Blast is casted out, and the Malaysians
Ooh,
zone away. The
ooh.
flicker though, it lands on the two people,
wow.
and Cambodia capitalizes. That's a kill for Boom, and that is another one. Chico and Yums gets taken out, but look at that 4-maze. Again with the 4-maze things, 1v3. It will not be enough though. Oh, there it is. OP will be able to take him out, but that was very, very close, and Cambodia has eventually taken something back from Malaysia.
There you go. This is what I said. The crowd control from Cambodia. They are very, very strong. They have this stun ability coming from OP with the corrosive strike. Let's take a look to the replay just now. The good setup from the Numen Blast coming from T. It changed everything. It wants the team fight from Cambodia. Maybe Formace came with the preferred fighter trying to punish that T down. But the thing is, look at that. The corrosive strike really, really on point. And also the torn upward memory from OP. It makes Formace, of course, get shut down.
That's a shutdown for OP, and I think it's in great hands because OP can definitely do a lot of damage. But here's a circling eagle being used as Tai gets pinned against the wall with the heavy spin. But no, they turn around to Luto. But Tai looks for a Numen Blast. It does not land, however. Nimbru's passion from Momo will zone everyone from Cambodia away. But look at Formace. He's looking for a play. Grievous Fighter being used right now, but he is kited away again and again. But the Cambodians, they're looking for a flank of their own. Boom's in the backside, trying to go for the priority members in the back line. It will be Youngs for now, but both teams escape with no casualties.
Yes, both of the team disengaged for the team from the team fight just now. And look at how Chiku used that heavy spin. I think needs to be in the perfect timing, you know.
And you
right?
can't change
Because-
mid combo like that.
Yeah, that's right. Because it's not easy in the minutes number 9 to follow up the heavy spin as maybe as what Chiku wants, right? Because once the heavy spin pop ups and there's no follow up damage coming from Malaysia, it's gonna be a little bit useless initiation here from Chiku.
I think the Malaysians definitely require a bit more coordination because they have combo, right? They have a big combo that can be very devastating if they can actually land it on multiple members.
And especially Cambodia can turn back the table with the Numen the setup from T.
Exactly, that Numen Blast has been so dangerous as Boom finds Chico, and Chico looking for an opportunity here, but the Lord is still a bit too healthy, and right now, at any moment, both these teams can engage for a big fight unless they want to risk going for a 50-50 retribution battle among the junglers. So take a look right now. There we go. Heavy spin. Numen and Blast both being used at the same time.
Chiku.
But that is a lot of damage coming in from the side of the Cambodians. They're taking out the members of Malaysia one by one. It's a 2-for-2 for now though, as Chiku is still in the front doing a lot of damage, and Formace as well as GMs trying to go back and provide a bit of support, and Boom goes in with the jabs, with the knockout strikes, but unfortunately it won't be enough. A 2-for-2, and that was just complete chaos.
And now T is trying to recall back because Malaysia now they have this Lord. They are going into the bottom lane. But remember, this is the first lot. Cambodia, they are trying to force the team fight because they know they lose the objective easily just because this Akai have the heavy spin and also the retribution that on point from Chiku, right? So
Yes.
it's easy for Malaysia to just take all of the objectives that they want. So once Cambodia lose the objective here, they have to force the team fight. At least they need to get like 2 or 3 members for them to hold this Lord. But the problem is now Lord is already marching down into the bottom lane.
Malaysia's waiting for an opportunity here, but watch Boom, because Boom is one of the main problems here. Able to flank around and do a lot of damage onto Moon as well as Momo. That is what happened in the previous fight, but the Malaysians very smartly rotate away. They take the first turret, but look at Tai going alone in the front line. That will be a mistake. He has the Immortal, but right now, heavy spin being stolen by Deja as well. Numen and Blast being popped, and the Malaysians actually maintain their composure. They keep going for this fight, but Formace going in and out. The Cambodians have no idea what exactly is his game plan right here. They're trying to adjust, and it's still no casualties due to that Immortal, but that will be that Immortal cooldown in the hands of Tai.
But I think it's gonna be a Malaysia game right now because look at that. I think OP needs a little bit more damage here because with the turnout memory pop up just now, he hasn't give a damage that actually Malaysia needs here. Let's take a look for the item. He has the Blade of Heptasis and also the Malefic Roar for the attack penetration, and Blood of Despair. So there's still no Demon Hunter sword that can melt down all of the defensive hero that Malaysia has, such as its Akai and also Lapu Lapu. The Dominance Ice in the hand of T and also Boom. So I think it's enough. But I think yeah, they just need more damage for, especially for OP, because OP, if you talk about the positioning, he's having a nice position. He's having a good positioning, but the thing is, he needs more damage to melt down all of the members from Malaysia.
That's a problem when you're playing a Brody, right? You have a lot of burst damage, a lot of utility, but you don't really have the same kind of DPS that Momo on that Beatrix can bring to the table. So he needs a bit more items, and they have to try and get the right fight. We saw that earlier. If Moon and Momo gets taken out, automatically Malaysia have very little DPS to work with, and I think that will be the main idea here for the side of the Cambodians.
Yeah, and now I think they're going to take the Lord. It's gonna be an important Lord for both of the teams. Malaysia, they can do a straight push with the second Lord, but Cambodia also can turn back the table, because this Lord, if they get this Lord, it will go into the top lane.
Heavy spin being used, though. Luto is stuck there with the Mirror's Passion. That's a lot of damage, but there's a Lunar Blast being used by the side of the Cambodians, and they go in all together. But the kite back from the Malaysians is solid, and now here comes Formace. They have to be very, very careful. He's going in with the Bravest Fighter, and everyone else goes in at the same time. Tonopart Memory doesn't do enough damage to take out all the Malaysians. But Formace is so low. He is down. Double kill for OP, and that is very, very good. Deja is still looking for a bit more, and the Malaysians are forced to retreat. It's a 2-4-0, even though there was an amazing flank from Formace.
At least it's enough for Cambodia to hold Malaysia for a little bit. 2 members down from Malaysia, and now it's chance for Cambodia to take this Lord. Let's take a look for the replay. Really a good heavy spin coming from Chiku, guys, but like we mentioned it earlier, if there's no follow-up from Chiku, it's gonna be a little bit, you know, unfortunately for this Akai. But we know that actually Deja, he already countered that with the heavy spin as well. Now 5 member, 4-5.
Oh, here we go. The Youngs goes in, and it's countered by the stolen heavy spin. But everyone from Cambodia is so low. Malaysia pounces on the opportunity. That is gonna be Tai taken out by Chiku, but Lutu has not given up just yet. He won't be able to make a game-saving play, though. The Lord gets secured. Formace takes out Lutu. It's a 2-4-0, and the Malaysians, they're out for blood. 30 seconds, 23 seconds on Tai for the Death Timers. They can definitely get some turrets in this situation.
Or it's gonna be a straight push coming from Malaysia. Look at that, the Super Minions comes in into the base, and now it's gonna be a disaster from Cambodia, Archie.
Boom goes in, but he gets taken out by Momo. But that might just be enough. The Malaysians are waiting for the next wave. But that stolen heavy spin, though, is being used by Deja to buy a bit of time. He gets taken very, very low. And look at that. Members from Cambodia have come up. And look at the damage coming in from OP, man. They are going for the base. And the Malaysians will barely be able to secure game number 2.
Oh my god, Arashi, did you see that?
So close.
There's still a minion comes up from the base of Cambodia. But unfortunately, Malaysia, they are just so focused to force this game going into game number 3.
They are no strangers to these high-stakes moments, man. This is how they like to play. Everything hanging on the edge. At any moment, it could be a victory or a defeat. That is the Malaysia we've come to know and love. And Cambodia, they understood that firsthand. They unfortunately were unable to secure that clean sweep, so we are going to game number 3.
They almost hold Malaysia a little bit here with the, the 2 members down right in the Lord pit just now. But the thing is, Malaysia realized that Cambodia already used a lot of resource skill just now.
Yes.
So why don't we force the team fight here? They've tried to force it 5 versus 5 in the Lord pit for the second time. Then after they got T, who we know that actually the Nomian Blast setup is very, very important from Cambodia down. It's gonna be, a key for Malaysia.
For sure. I mean, there's also the fact that the Lord has done so much damage to the members from the Cambodian team, and that is just so difficult to deal with, especially in that late game when Malaysia has so many ways to start a fight. Yums flew so far with that Circling Eagle to start off that fight, and as you always know, the follow-up from the members of Malaysia is absolutely solid, man.
Solid, absolutely solid. And how tanky this Chiku and also Formace, right? It's not easy to take this two men down because they have a lot of defensive items. Especially we know this Akai with the heavy spin and also the jungler position. It means he has an opportunity to take the objective easily if you compare to Cambodia.
I think that it's part of their game plan, having utility and heavy spin with the retribution. That combo has been around, but Malaysia brings it back. It's a bit of a throwback almost. But there's so many
Almost.
moments here where it's just so intense. You saw that Formaze was going in so aggressively, almost making it happen, but not quite. And on the other side, there's times where OP just went out of control and starts taking out members from Malaysia one by one. So it just makes for such a high, high adrenaline game.
Yeah, I agree with that. And look at that, Cambodia, they actually they almost did it, right? Look at this. This is the first team fight. Malaysia, they took the Lord actually, but they can take the Lord. But Cambodia, they know they have enough damage from OP, right? With the cursive strike and also the turn up at memory. But the thing is, they don't have enough front laner to hold the damage coming from Malaysia. Deja, after he used that heavy spin, he only have the Archon Shot to just terrify all the members from Malaysia here. And this is a bad positioning for Cambodia because Malaysia forced to have a huge team fight as well after two members down from Malaysia. And once Cambodia lose two members, T and also Lutu, it's gonna be a straight push coming from Malaysia. Look at that. There's
So
still a minion
close.
goes from the base, right?
There is. I mean, it was very, very close, and we saw that Deja tried to
very
use
close.
that heavy spin to try
I
and
know.
push the minions away, but it won't be enough. So again,
Momo.
back to the drawing board, but the match MVP, Momo?
Yes.
Momo-chan?
It's not me.
Oh, it's Momo plus
It's Momo from Malaysia.
from Malaysia.
Yes.
There's a lot of damage here, despite the fact that Boom was constantly looking out for him. Boom has his number, man. In
Yeah.
every single fight, the Paquito was just out for the hunt. At the player spotlight, though, Momo-chan, need we say more?
I think if you talk about the MVP, of course it goes to Momo, right? But spotlight here, we have to give it to Chico because without the heavy spin, without the retribution, maybe Malaysia they won't have so much upper hand, such as gold and also level here because
Yep.
with the turtle objective, with the Lord objective, it buy about a lot of time for Malaysia. But for me, it's because of the Formace as well. You know, he cut the lane, he cut the minion,
Oh,
and
yeah.
he also do the line management here. So with the Formace, I think it's gonna be a little bit hard team fight from Malaysia, especially they only have this Akai as a front laner, and even though Yams built a defensive item here with the Dominance Eyes and also the Oracle, but his priority is going to take down the backline here. This is why he did 4 times, right? Because he needs to cover the Malaysian team here, but he also needs to prio OP who stay in the backline.
I
So
think
the
his
circling
job-
Egan, yeah, the circling Egan goes to OP, but I think
Underrated skill, but we're back at it again, Momo-chan.
one thing for sure, Arashi Hoshi,
Yes.
Joy needs
Oh,
to be banned out,
Yes.
right?
No question. I think so.
And Malaysia has a chance to do that because Cambodia is gonna be the first pick for our game number 3.
The first pick here is going to be Cambodia, so I think they're going to force that Joy ban, like you mentioned, Momo-chan. The Phobius will be a prio ban for Cambodia. Funny enough, it's always a prio ban for the first pick team, I think. If I recall the pattern correctly.
Yes,
Angela, though, is being banned by Malaysia again, so maybe, right, now that I'm looking at things, maybe Malaysia thinks that Cambodia likes what do you want to call it? They like relying on OP to be the main damage dealer. We see it again and again. In game number 1, huge damage. In game number 2, on that Brody even,
Almost.
OP was just making the plays left and right.
Yeah.
So maybe they're afraid that Cambodia is going to funnel all the protection, all the utility onto OP, and he will take over the game, so denying the Angela. I think it's going to be I think that's the main idea if we try and predict and look into the minds of the coaches. But along with that, it's going to be the Kaja.
it's gonna be a Kaja for sure, and Malaysia, they have a chance to ban out this Joy for sure. They don't want to deal with Joy like the game number 1. So I think it should be Joy, right? Because if not Joy, I think it's gonna be a disaster because we've seen in the game number 1, Minsitar is not enough. Or maybe Malaysia wants to try again. They let Cambodia pick this Joy.
Oh, they banned out the Atlas.
Oh, okay. Oh, this is what I say. They let this Joy into the hand of Cambodia, and Malaysia can take again that Minsitar as the counter. Or maybe they don't want to bring a tank jungler for Chico. They can bring something else. They can bring another damage dealer jungler, such as maybe Ling, right? Or maybe Hayabusa for Chico.
So many options for the man known as Chiku, guys. But like clockwork, Cambodia has picked up that Joy, so Malaysia definitely needs some kind of solution.
Absolutely.
Lockdown, mobility.
Obviously.
Well, Beatrix will be one of the main choices here. Of course, the wave management is what's important. What makes that Joy so obnoxious is the fact that he can clear the wave so fast. So if Malaysia can match the clear, maybe it will be pretty manageable. We'll have to see.
Yeah, but Beatrix and maybe Lapu-Lapu could be the prior for Malaysia because we've seen as well Lapu-Lapu in the hand of Boom, right? It's not really a prior target for Malaysia because Boom as an XP laner, he just need to clear the
waves?
The wave as soon as possible, right? And the problem from the XP laner is they always like to play, the cutting strategies. So it makes you won't realize that actually there's someone can try to attack you from the blind spot. That's the only problem when you try to face the EXP laner here.
Right, these EXP laners, they just have so many ways to try and roam around and translate their lane advantage. So I think that is a very important part of the game.
Yes.
But as you predicted, Momo-chan, what is going on here? Momo-chan has predicted the Lapu-Lapu as well, and early on, you predicted Minsitar as well. So you're just in sync with Momo from Team Malaysia.
No, actually, I got my coffee.
Got your coffee. It gives you superpowers.
I got my coffee and my fan, so it's not as that hot as before, right? Okay, but let's back to the draft. Lapu-Lapu and also Bruno. I like this Bruno pick, but the problem is he's only.
Leomord.
Oh, sorry, Leomord. Because Leomord and Bruno, I like that Bruno pick because Bruno, he has that one escape capability with the.
He has a slide.
The flying tackle. Are you watching FIFA? The flying tackle from Messi. Sorry, but yeah.
Hang on. Weird transition, but go on.
Yeah, but Bruno, that's the only way. But we know with the flicker spell here from Bruno, he should be able to survive. Even though Malaysia, they have this Lapu-Lapu, they have the real world manipulation that can give a slow effect for members of Cambodia. As long as he has a good positioning, we know we've seen it right in the game number 2 with OP with Brody. How many times that actually Malaysia tried so hard to take him down,
and he is able to
and
survive.
he's able. Yeah, that's the thing. So I think Malaysia needs something else. What else? That they have to bring something that can go back into the gold lane and even maybe have enough CC to stop this Bruno with all the escape ability that he has.
Might be a very aggressive roamer that can actually serve that role. We'll have to see. Right now, the Minsitar has been banned by Cambodia as well, so they recognize the need to deny these dash denials from Malaysia. Deniception, but Malaysia has banned away the Diggy and the Rafaela as well, not wanting them to be able to kite away from the aggression. Because for Malaysia right now, they do have the Yve with a lot of slow. So if a Diggy or Rafaela can speed up the rest of the members of Cambodia, that might be a solution that Malaysia does not want Cambodia to have. Final ban will be that Franco though, but I'm guessing that they are not expecting that Franco to be in the jungle from Malaysia.
Yeah, I think Malaysia shouldn't take it anymore, so shouldn't bring the same maybe the same draft like in the game number 1. But Malaysia, I just feel with the composition that Cambodia has right now, they need someone that can have a early damage here. They already have this Beatrix. I think it's enough. If you compare to Leslie, Beatrix is way more maybe I could say a little bit safe here from the positioning, from the damage, right? Because Leslie in this item Beatrix does as well, but he still have a basic damage, a little bit damage from Batrick if you compare to Leslie. But a Ruby pick from Malaysia,
Ooh.
I think they have to bring an assassin jungler.
Perhaps we have to see because
Perhaps.
there's a bit of a rock paper scissors situation here because
Yeah.
if Malaysia can have advantage for Moon, for example, they can zone OP away. But if the Joy becomes a big problem, then automatically Moon cannot deal or cannot zone like that. So a lot of situationals here. But for Cambodia, first the Matilda as well as the Yutong, that is a lot of dive here. 2 fighters, 1 mage / assassin, and in addition to that, the Matilda. So many dashes, so many ways to engage on. And Malaysia does have a Ruby, but are they gonna... Oh, they go for the Baxia. Whoa. That's fast clear, and that is crowd control and regeneration denial from the Turtles Prisons. So it makes sense on paper, but will it work out? This is a very interesting draft from both these teams.
Oh my god. Oh, and I like that skin, Yams. New skins. Aspirants from
Oof, the Aspirant skin.
Malaysia here. And Baxia as a jungler for Chico guys. I'm not sure because I have my own, I have my own opinion about the draft, right? Because
Really?
for me, it's better for Malaysia to take the assassin damage here because I just feel that they are lacking of damage. They really, they have the Batrix here. They have Lapu Lapu, but yeah, they
Have a Yves as well?
yeah, but bringing Baxia into the game number 3, I think they have to make an active rotation here. If not, it's gonna be If not, it's gonna be a little bit hard for Malaysia.
Well, without further ado, let's get into the final game between Cambodia
Yeah.
and Malaysia. Will we see finally Cambodia sealing the deal, or will Malaysia have a reverse sweep victory? But it's after this a few short messages, lol.
Okay, Rashi, I got what your point is.
It's like a commercial break.
It's like a commercial
Waiting for
break.
a bit of a pause. But I agree, Momo-chan. That is a
Yeah.
very, very solid point. When you pick up
Especially-
Baxia,
yeah.
you need speed. You need to be rolling around. They need to see you rolling, and they have to start hating, because otherwise, it's a bit of wasted potential for Baxia. With the fast clear, with the mobility, if you just stay and farm up, you're not getting the full value. But if Malaysia can abuse it and combine the speed of the Baxia with the slow from the Yves, I think they have a very solid winning solution here.
Yeah, and the thing is, nice. The thing is, Cambodia has Joy, right?
Yes.
We know how fast this hero, especially in the mid lane, he will have a lot of damage with the genius one. Maybe the magic penetration coming from Joy, it will mix the rhythm of Joy, and also the electrifying bits here has a massive damage for Joy. So I think if Malaysia, they cannot stop this Joy to wandering around, I think it's gonna be a huge problem for Malaysia. They've done it in the game number 1, right?
Yep.
Even though they have this Min Sitar and also Franco as a lock hero, but the thing is, they only have a Ruby.
Exactly. So there's less solutions here, and it's so situational, right? Depending on how the game goes, who gets ahead, who gets shut down. The mid game is so unpredictable, but just like that, we're back into the game as Lutu takes his orange buff. And right here, you can see Deja just getting so aggressive, doing a lot of damage onto Yums. And in the early game, Moon will require some items to be that aggressive, to be that impactful. But look at that slow, right? This is that
Yes.
utility we've been talking about. Oh, as OP takes a cheeky free gold buff.
Yes, thank you. And there you go. OP. He can clear the minion
Oof.
quite fast here, but there's really nice stole coming from Lutu.
Drive-by retribution
I
to
know,
secure the
right?
lethal.
Yep, and OP, not really in a good position here, Arashi, but he's totally aware that might be Malaysia don't want to give a lot of space for him to farm, right? So he needs to play a little bit patient here for OP until he gets to the level number 4, or maybe even the first turret in the top lane.
Look
But
at
boom.
both teams just contesting the gold buff, but Yums is forced to use his flicker as the pressure in the early game is just so much. Mathilda, Joy, Leomord, these are all top-tier heroes in the hands of top-tier players. The Malaysians need to respect it, but look at Momo here, trading hits against OP, but the backup is here for both these teams. Fortunately for Momo, Yums is still in the picture, so they can't really just engage recklessly.
And OP, I know Bruno passive is giving a critical, right? Oh, but the really nice stall coming from Yams. Meanwhile, in the bottom lane,
Lutu is very, very low, and Chiku almost takes him out. Formaze actually goes for the play, takes away his life. But look at Moon, he's getting jumped around. He's kiting away with the sprint, but it won't be enough. But Formaze doing Formaze things with a double kill, going for more. He is trying to actually excel in this 1v2 confrontation. The Petrify Furious Dive combo comes in, and unfortunately, he is taken down. Yums will be trying to trade it back, but Boom will be able to survive as Chiku, in the midst of everything, yoinks away that turtle.
yeah, and look at that. Now Cambodia, they're having a lot of pressure in the bottom lane, especially, right? Because Momo still able to have a 1v1 situation as well with OP in the top lane. So there's no an urgent rotation that Malaysia has to do.
Ooh, that's an I'm offended. A follow-up with some damage from Moon, but he is so vulnerable right here, being dashed away. Look at that damage. The World Recognition will buy a bit more time with that shielding, but it won't be enough as Yums is the next target. But look at that. What is this hero, man? Deja is just out of control right now. Chiku finally makes his way up there, but it will be too late. 2 members down off the back of this Joy, just out of control.
This is what I say, right? For Joy, you try to take a risk by letting Joy, and it's gonna be a dangerous situation for Malaysia.
Circling
Rashid.
Eagle has been used, and now Momo is still the main target, but he will be surviving for not long.
Oh
But the
my
Amapanda is
God.
being used, and the Malaysians are trying to strike back. But look at Deja, man. How is Malaysia supposed to catch him? Someone needs to stop this man. This is illegal.
Absolutely, yeah, I agree with that, because once you know that there's a Joy available to be picked by your opponent here, you already have to, prepare for the worst here. You don't have Min Sitar, you only have a Ruby, but the problem is Ruby with the I'm offended won't be enough unless Malaysia they took Formace go to join the team fight here. I think it will be maybe more effective for Malaysia here, because once the I'm offended being used by Yums, they still have the River Vital to stun this Deja.
Deja back at it again with them dashes, but Chico guys will be able to secure his purple buff. And I think the positioning, right, the formation from the Malaysians need to be revised a bit, because Moon has been caught again and again, but Chiku, at every point he can just roll and start engaging with that shield unity. The turtle is up right now, and both teams are going for it. As we mentioned, if everything goes front to back, certainly Malaysia has a chance. But the Black Dragon form, along with everything, Chico actually gets the steal still. But look at Deja all the way in the back. Moon is zoned away, and the Malaysians are split in 2. But the Cambodians cannot capitalize, and Chico, he gets it done.
Wow! Chiku, finally! Even though he got the 3 assists, I think it's
hang
enough
on.
for the early.
Taeyang gets very low with the I'm offended, but Deja 1v3, he doesn't even care. Momo gets taken out, he's
Oh my
unstoppable,
God.
literally, and that is Cambodia. Just not respecting the Malaysian potential at all. Circling Eagle is popped right here again.
Oh my
Youngs is
God.
alone. Moon will try and actually
Look at
do
this
some
Joy.
crowd control. But look at Joy, not even taken low in the middle of all this. And Chico will not be able to protect his top side turret. He will be jumped on right here. Very, very tanky. Popping the Prickle's Poisons to do a bit of damage, but he will be taken out as well. The power in the early game by the Cambodians, absolutely insane.
And especially, they bring this Matilda, right? So the additional shield and also how the guiding winds work perfectly for Cambodia, it makes them very, very confident in all the skirmish and team fight that Joy has, right? The electrifying beats, it's immune all of the CC that actually Malaysia have. So the I'm offended from Yams or maybe slow effect from Moon, it won't affect this Joy at all, right?
They require damage. Maybe
And
damage is the only crowd control that can work.
Yeah, and he also has the additional movement speed from the electrifying beats. And it's when you meet Cambodia, please just ban this Joy.
I mean, in general, I think this Joy is just so obnoxious, and there's no real easy solution. Not yet, at least. But Formis now has the Bloodlust Axe, so he has a lot more sustain. Chiku actually has the Blade Armor, so gonna be a bit more tanky. But look at Deja. He's just so... He doesn't really have any care in how he positions and how he moves. He just goes in and out, and it doesn't matter. there's nothing Malaysia can do until maybe later on the damage coming in from Momo can maybe burst him down. The turtle is now spawning and both teams are looking for it. Malaysia was able to steal it before, but now Cambodia has a lot more control. They might just go and try and take Chiku out before trying to secure the turtle though. Retribution battle being won by Chiku yet again, but look at the dive. Cambodia is all over the back line. The Petrify hits 2 people. Chiku,
what?
but he gets taken out. The knockup now takes out Yums, and Cambodians actually are falling back. That's some DPS coming in from Chiku and Moon.
Yes, but Boom is gonna be the threat for Malaysia. Meanwhile, Momo is just focusing to get the objective in the top lane as soon as possible. And did you realize, Arashi, Deja, he brings the Vengeance spell. So he will have more damage, deals 50 points damage here, plus 25% of the damage as magic damage to the enemy.
So extra damage, and we talked about this. He is so mobile, and
Yes.
he has so much damage. There's no real requirement, and of course the damage reduction.
Yeah.
We said that the only real counter right now, the only real crowd control might be death, might be just damage and burst damage. So with the Vengeance, that just counters that option as well. So it's a very intelligent choice by Deja on the side of Cambodia.
Yeah, he got the speed, he got the magic damage here, he got the magic reduction from the Vengeance. I think it's enough for Deja. This is what are you looking at, Arashi? You are looking for the answer, right? Why he's very, very strong because of the spell as well.
Well, but he won't be in the bot side, and Boom will get ganked. And the Malaysians will take away a turret, but look at Deja already on the way on a mission. Unfortunately, though, it will be a bit too late as Chiku goes in. He actually doesn't really care, walks around, and the crowd control, the poke damage. You can see the itemization, the power spikes for the Malaysians is starting to come through. And if the game goes long enough, it might be dangerous as Momo. You cannot stand alone, and I guess it's a tough situation because even if you try and babysit and guard Momo against this Joy, it's almost pointless.
I know, exactly, Arashi. I agree with that. But
Unreal.
an legendary for Deja, it means that
He's 8-0, Momo-chan.
this is why, maybe, like you said earlier, Arashi, this Joy, maybe we haven't found the counter yet, right? Okay, maybe if we talk about Minsitar, it's not easy to use Minsitar as well because it has a little movement speed here. But as the
Ooh.
fight comes in the Lord Pit, Archie,
Chiku goes in for more plays, but Yums is also trying to do a lot of crowd control.
Lord?
Chiku will be too low to attempt to steal. The
The
Black
Lord?
Dragon form has been used, and Chiku will not be there to steal that Lord. Lord is taken by OP, but it's still all right. The Malaysians are trying to get compensation. Lutu will be the only one they can take out. It's a 2-for-1, and they have lost the Lord to Cambodia. Malaysia need to try and make something happen.
yeah, because as we've seen for the replay here, Chiku, he comes in with the Baxia Shield Unity, try to break everyone, actually, especially the frontliner of Cambodia, right? But the problem is, once the Black Dragon form pop up coming from Malaysia, the thing is they don't have enough damage to follow up Chiku and also Boom here, because Boom he wants to take someone at the backline, especially it's Moonrat and also Momo. So the problem is once the Black Dragon form pops up from Cambodia, Malaysia they have to back off a little bit here. They don't want to take off they want to force the team fight because they know the Furious Death can knock them out.
Now the Cambodians are going for the turret, but the Malaysians are able to actually stave off that aggression, losing relatively low amounts of turret HP. And for the most part, the Cambodians did not go for the 3-wave push at the same time, so I think they missed out on a lot of utility using the empowered minion waves. But right now, the Malaysians are still on the back foot for sure. They lose a turret despite all that, but the middle turret, one of the more important ones, is still standing. Not for long though, as I think the Cambodians will try and do something.
Yeah. And what will they do actually, especially for Malaysia, right? Because now Cambodia, look at that, Boom, with the Black Dragon form trying to eat Momos down
Oh,
in
the
the
Petrify though! Momo gets taken low and he gets taken out. Lutu will be the one picking up that kill, but now the Malaysians trying to strike back. Look at Formays doing damage, but
Deja!
look at Deja! In and out, in and out!
Oh
Look at the
my
regeneration! That is unreal! He is legendary right now with 9 kills. And what is that? He is regenerating so much. There's no chance for Malaysia to strike back. 3 members down. It's a 3-for-2, but It's just looking very bleak
It
for Malaysia. Where is the counterplay?
It reminds me of France yesterday. Did you remember?
Right, the amount of sustain is insane.
The lifestyle, and look at to the replay just now. The team fight actually is already, been set up by Cambodia, right? With the Black Dragon family coming from Boom. Boom was down, but the thing is, Momo down at the first line here. So when Deja comes with the electrifying bits and also the rhythm of joy, no one can stop him down because all of the ability is already being used when they want to shut down Boom with the Black Dragon form.
He goes in, he regenerates HP instead of losing it. What is going on? That can't be legal, man.
And especially they bring this Matilda, right? So it's easy for Cambodia to just go in and go out wherever they want. They can try to avoid the team fight from Malaysia.
Oh, big combo here with the Nibiru's Passion. That will be Boom taken out. That's already a very solid pick, but the Malaysians need to be very careful. Joy, Deja on that Joy is just way too strong right now, but they can have advantage here in numbers when they're trying to contest for this next Lord. Formaze and Moon already trying to deal some damage, deal some poke damage, but the Lord will be taken very low. It will be secured by Chiku, but the Cambodians want blood. They go in and Momo gets taken out almost instantly, and Deja is not done just yet. Chiku is the next target. The real manipulation is popped up, but it won't even matter. Formaze tries to make a play happen on the backside. He does a lot of damage, but it won't be enough. Right now, he's not done. But I think Deja goes in for a big flank here. Very, very interesting. Unfortunately, without any waves, it won't be enough just yet. Malaysia needs some damage items. Deja cannot keep getting away with this.
I know. The dominance as won't work anymore, I think, for Malaysia. But look at that. Another team fight, Arishi.
Yums with the I'm offended. It won't be enough. He is getting jumped on by both Boom as well as Deja.
Oh.
That is Deja legendary. And he is still not waiting. Boom will take away Moon's life as well. Formaze is the only one that's durable enough to survive in these situations. But the Cambodians just keep ignoring him. They're just walking away.
I know, right? And now the Lord is matching down into the top lane. It's gonna be a distraction for Cambodia. They have to clear this Lord first before if they want to continue to join. But look at the electrifying bits pop up from DJ trying to shoo Formaze away. Don't disturb Cambodia because they want to clear the Lord as soon as possible. Once after that, they're going to reset it again and they're going back into the business, Archie.
It's so difficult for Malaysia right now because even if they secure the
Lord,
look at how easily it's cleared, how easily it's dealt with. They have no chance to even walk with that Lord.
Look at the item, okay? He has, the first item is Genius one. It means he already has the magic penetration since in the beginning. And now with the Genius one that has burn effect, right?
Oof.
It's make his powerful, and oh my god, 35% magic damage from the Holy Crystal is being done. It's done for DJ. So it's, I don't know what will Malaysia do because I think with all of the magic defense coming from Malaysia, it's still one enough. You know, with the Athena Seal, the Radiant Armor, and also maybe they need an Oracle as well because they need this lifesteal from Malaysia at least to stay for the team fight here.
Speaking of the glowing wand though, Moon has one as well. So the power spikes is coming up for the Malaysians. We are at 15 minutes. You can consider this slightly towards the late game, and with enough damage, Deja needs to be more and more careful in how he wants to approach these fights. So maybe they can be a mistake that the Malaysians can take advantage of. Right now, surprisingly, the Malaysians are the one with a bit of control.
And the problem is, it's not only Deja the problem though.
Yes, Lutu, Boom,
OP.
So
right?
magic and physical as well, Momo-chan. A good mix of items that you need to survive from this damage.
There are so many targets for Malaysia to be, to be maybe focused. They have to choose which one they have to prior to be taken down here. Is it gonna be Deja or is it gonna be OP who has a perfect positioning until now, right? And the next Lord is gonna be the answer for both of the teams. 1-for-1 Lord, and now it's gonna be the third Lord in our 15 minutes a game. And now Malaysia, they have to do some pick off. They have to at least take down one member before they start the big fight, 5 versus 5 with Cambodia.
Well, they have to get a pick off and on the right target as well because they can't just go and get any kind of pick off. And right now, they are the ones being zoned away. Formaze is coming in. He has the items available to go in. Black Dragon form has been used by Boom towards that back line. And look at Deja just wreaking havoc. And while that's happening, Chiku as well as Formaze are trying so hard, but the back line is being absolutely decimated. Deja with the recalls, just disrespecting. Formace, despite his best efforts, will not be able to make anything happen. That's
Oh,
a
no.
3-4-0 for the side of Cambodia, and it's looking like the beginning of the end. Yums and Momo trying their best to try and do something, but it won't be enough. Yums taken very low. That is the first turret. And Cambodia on a steam train, not trying to stop at all, going in for the base turret. Will they
Oh my
continue
God.
with a minimal amount of minions? The death timers are still so long. 8 more seconds until Moon is on the base. And look at that. Momo goes in. Jumps, tries to stop the minion wave, but it won't be enough. That will be Cambodia, upsetting the majority of the caster predictions. The caster curse strikes again. Cambodia, you guys got it done.
Oh my God, 2-1 against Malaysia, and wow, I think it looking, yeah, it looks very bad actually. For game number 3 for Malaysia, they don't have enough ability to stop only one hero. We might not see, we might not see that this Bruno do a lot of outplay, right?
Well, because there's no need to.
There's yeah, he doesn't need to. They only need this DJ go dive in with the rhythm of joy, get a perfect bits. Then after that, once the CC comes from Malaysia, such as maybe I'm offended from Ruby, he just need to pop up that electrifying bits.
And with that vengeance, as we mentioned, it just makes it so difficult.
Exactly.
He
This-
does damage. He has sustain, and now with the
I
damage
know.
reduction, even if 5 members are hitting or just beating down on him, as we mentioned, the spells are so spammable that eventually you will get taken out. And even if you don't get taken out, the sustain will ensure that you don't get taken out either. And
Yeah.
then once the Malaysians think, okay, it's our chance now, the vengeance is down, the spells are on cooldown, he just gets out with the guiding wind.
Agree with that. Just
So
the-
obnoxious.
The draft is just too perfect for Cambodia, I could say, for our third
I
game
feel like
here.
it's just one pick. That one pick made so much difference.
No, actually, it started from the third banning phase, right? Because we thought that it's not gonna be Atlas that be banned out by Malaysia, but they choose Atlas rather than this Joy.
Exactly. It's a very
Right.
interesting choice. As you take a look at some highlights here, Momo-chan.
Yes, look at the highlight. Actually, it's not really active though for this Joy to giving some punishment for Malaysia in the beginning and since in the early. But when it comes to minute number 3, minute number 5, this stage is really unstoppable. Look at that, the vengeance pop up. Then after that, he has the genius one as a magic penetration, more damage for this Joy. It makes Joy really free, and this is the 1 versus 3 in the mid lane. He even dive into the mid turrets
He's level 7. How is he doing this?
and even got the monster kill. He stopped Yums and I can say maybe everyone from Malaysia. This is why it's very hard when you let Joy into the hand of your opponent and you don't have. And we've seen, right, in the game number 1, Minsita is not enough.
It's not enough at all. I think you need maybe suppression even, just to ensure that it's not just denying the dashes, but stopping him from doing damage whatsoever. Because even without the dashes, how the spammable nature of that hero with a concentrated energy allows Deja right here to just sustain so much more than a marksman. I think the DPS and the sustain is higher than a late game marksman with a House Claws.
I think they need someone that has a stun CC, something like. They need a stopper because what makes actually Joy looks very strong because no one can stop him, right?
Exactly. I mean, Cambodia banned out the Franco as well
That's
because of
right.
that.
Because of that, and the Minsita are really a good to ban out. They coming from Cambodia, the last 2 ban, right? It makes this Joy really free. Look at that. He dive into the front lane of Malaysia, and he can destroy everyone that he wants.
It's unreal. Look
It's
at this.
very
Pokes the Vengeance goes back in.
He
He gains
even-
HP. He's
he-
diving a turret against 3 people and he gains HP. Hello?
Yeah, I know.
Is it-
It's just unreal, right? Already.
Is this functioning as intended? It's so confusing to look
No,
at. It doesn't seem like it's supposed to happen.
This hero is just too broken, because
For
this
now.
is the new. For now, maybe we are waiting for the nerf for Joy, but yeah, the distraction that comes from Boom as well. It what makes Malaysia they are
Yes.
just being pushed away by Boom. That's it.
Or by
right?
Lutu on the Leomord. Don't
That's right.
forget, these are very strong heroes in the hands
Yeah.
of Cambodia.
Exactly, the immune of the CC and also the Matilda with the guiding wind. It makes it makes Cambodia hero. They can just dive in wherever they want. They can go out wherever they want as well. Once they done with the business, they just okay, pop up the guiding win and we
leave. Adios.
live. Yes, bye, adios, my friend. But yeah, I think it's
It's so sad as well because Malaysia, they were putting up a great fight. Chico was able to get those objective steals as well, but unfortunately,
look at that without that at all.
again, watch that game again and see how he's playing and tell me this score makes sense.
13
Almost
kills.
91,000 damage dealt and 70,000 damage taken. This is a damage dealer, by the way, who only has essentially one defensive item, the concentrated energy. It's not even a real defensive item. It still does damage. He took 70,000 damage.
Because he's very, very confident with the vengeance spell. You know, like he has the 35 magic reduction from that vengeance.
The damage reduction.
Yeah, this is what makes DJ look very confident and very, very, you know, this is my playground.
Exactly.
This is DJ's playground.
You're in my turf now.
Yeah.
Exactly. Get out of my land of dawn.
But it's not over yet for Malaysia because Malaysia, they have to go down into the lower bracket. As we see, the player spotlight is gonna be T, you know, with this Matilda again and again. A perfect draft, I could say. They have an additional shield from this Matilda, right?
Yep.
From the guiding wind. He has the circling eagle can goes into the backline. So probably Batrix and also Eve won't be that safe as what they want. They think though. And Joy just need to follow up as soon as possible. Look at that 13-0-4. He has the holy crystal, that the last item that makes this Deja become more unstoppable.
And there he has the Oracle actually for a bit more HP.
This is why
and
the lifesteal, right?
augment the concentrated energy as well. But still, come on, he has 10,000 damage taken, less than T, who has been active the whole time. You know, it doesn't really seem fair. If you look at the items here,
and
it's not like Malaysia didn't itemize properly. Radiant armors on 3 members, right? They were thinking about what to build, how to counter it, and they tried to, you know, they made efforts towards that goal, but it didn't even matter.
Yeah, for me, I think because Eve is already being nerfed already, right? Because they make the real manipulation slower than before. It
And
makes
smaller as well.
Yeah, it's smaller as well. So it's easy for all the opponents that against Eve can go out from the boxes from the real manipulation ultimate here from Eve. So it's easy to avoid it. That's the first thing. The second thing is they don't need a suppress ability, like I said, because you know once you want to cancel the ultimate from Eve, you need a suppress ability such as from Kajal with the Divine Judgment, right? Martis as well. But the thing is, Cambodia, they don't need it. They already have a burst damage here. So once Eve do this, low manipulation, okay? He do this, right? Cambodia just okay, let's grab him.
Exactly, everyone just comes in.
I know.
Yu Song, Liu Morn, everyone can stop that real manipulation. And as you
that's
mentioned,
right.
Momo-chan, now it's not really used as a zoning tool because the range is smaller. It's used more as pure utility. The slows, the immobilizers, that is what it's usually used for these days. The Eve tech.
Maybe if you bring this Eve into the draft from Cambodia that has a lot of dive-in hero, a lot of burst damage hero, right? It won't work. Maybe it's not that effective as what maybe Malaysia wants, right?
Right.
The problem is they don't have any stopper. Maybe they have Ruby, but remember the electrifying bits that coming from Deja, it immune all of the CC.
Exactly. When you only have, and as always, we talked about this a lot again and again on the desk right here. If you have only one solution, then there is one solution to your solution. But if you have multiple solutions, now your opponents need to keep thinking, need to be on their toes, right?
Yeah.
If you were Deja and now there's like 4 suppressors, let's say, okay, Franco and Kaja and whatever. Now you're thinking, okay, I need to watch for all 4 of these. At any moment, someone might flicker and catch me.
Yeah,
but
that's
if there's
right.
only one stun, then you just wait, you just keep your focus on that one spell. If it comes out, you go for the immunity.
Agree.
Boom, bing, bang, bada boom.
Bing bam bada bam. But hold up, I think our host is ready to do some interview for our Cambodia team.
All right. Uncle Gare, let's take it away with the interview.
Thank you once again, Momo and Arashi, and congratulations to Cambodia. And I will take a short interview with one of the players. So congratulations once again, bro. Good job, good game, and I would like to ask you about what is your first impression about Bali?
It feels great to be here. Yes.
Is that good? Have you found like your favorite food in Indonesia?
Yeah.
Already try? What kind of food?
Fried rice.
Fried rice. Okay. The second one is, what do you think about Joy? When you guys got Joy, like 100% win rate, how do you think?
It's my confident hero, and it's so overpowered. Yes, that's it.
Okay, so Joy is so overpowered that he thinks that that was one of your signature, and he's so confident when he used Joy as a main hero of the game, and they beat Malaysia 2-1. So guys, after this, we will have the second match, another big match for today on Mobile Legends Bang Bang IESF 14 World Esports Championship, Indonesia versus Argentina. So it will be Bambang Pamungkas versus Lionel Messi. But we'll have a short break after this. Still on IESF 14 World Esports Championship 2022, Bali.